Hey traders, I've had a few people reach out to me that are subscribing to my trade alerts wanting to know how to actually execute the trade in the brokerage account. So I was going to walk through step by step of how I enter the trade into my broker, which is TD Ameritrade, and I use the Thinkorswim app. If TD Ameritrade is not your broker, you can open up what's called a paper trading account with them, and it's basically a play account where you can practice entering these trades so that you can follow along with me exactly how I'm entering the trades when I send out the trade alerts. So you can see here, this is a trade alert email that I sent on a Wednesday, and typically in the email I show any closed trades that I made, the current open positions, and then I'll add any new trades or additional comments that I have. So I'm not always able to make a YouTube video every time I make a trade, just because it's pretty time consuming to make a YouTube video like that. But I am sending out email alerts anytime I make a trade. So if you want to get my trades, just send me an email to mark@premiumtrader.com. I'll have the email in the description of this video, but just send me your email address. Right now it's just a free alert service that I'm offering. And like I said, I'll send these out. It's not every day, but it's typically, every few days when I make a trade or make an update to my positions, I'll send out the alert. So this will guarantee that you'll get to see my trades, because like I said, I may not always be able to post a YouTube video showing my current trades. So to get the Thinkorswim application, if you just go into a browser, type in www.thinkorswim.com, and that will redirect you to the TD Ameritrade website. And if we scroll down, you can see there is take a test drive. So this is the paper account if you want to download the paper account. And when you click on it, it's going to ask you some questions to set up the paper account. And once you have the paper account, it should prompt you to download the Thinkorswim software. If it does not, if we go back, you can see here on the right side it has download Thinkorswim, and that will take you through the prompts to download Thinkorswim. Now I believe the paper account will only give you access for 60 days if you do not have an actual live account with Thinkorswim. So after the 60 days is up, if you want to keep paper trading, you'll have to open up a live account. It's free to open a live account. You don't even have to fund it. I know a lot of traders who they will have a live account with TD Ameritrade because they like the Thinkorswim software from a charting standpoint. So they'll use Thinkorswim to do all their charting and do all their analysis, but then they'll go execute the trade in their own brokerage account. So it doesn't harm you or hurt you in any way to open up an account with them. Just you don't even have to fund it. The only difference between a live account and the paper account is they're going to obviously ask you a lot more information to open that account, like your social security number, your address, your trading history, things of that nature. So it's going to be a little more, in-depth application. Whereas I believe for this paper account, you pretty much just have to create a user ID and password for the 60-day trial. So that's how you would get the app. Now I'll show you how to enter this through the desktop app on your computer, as well as the mobile app, which is what I do all my trading from. So once you have the app downloaded on your computer, anytime you open up the app, it always installs updates. So if it's been several days since you've opened it, it could take it a few minutes to update. So that's the one downside to this application, is if you're trying to hurry and get in to make a trade, you may have to wait a few minutes for it to do its updates because it's constantly updating the software. So I make sure that if I'm going to use the desktop software, I have it up and ready before the market opens, so I'm not having to wait for it to do its installs. But this install was pretty quick. The update was pretty quick because I've already had the application open earlier. So you'll have the toggle where you can toggle between live trading and paper trading. In this case, we'll want to do paper trading. So to switch back and forth between the two, you actually have to close out the application and log back in again if you want to log in to your live trading account. So when you first log into the paper trading account, it may look a little different than what you see on mine, just because it's loading the last screen that I was in this account. You may come up to a home screen when you first log in. They're going to give you roughly $100,000 in play money to trade with. You can go in and adjust this to be a more realistic number if you want to try to have the balance to be close to what you would be trading realistically. I'm just going to leave that alone for now. So to execute a trade, let's pull up the email that I sent out Friday of my new trades. So here's the email I sent out Friday. You can see I placed 5 new trades on Friday. And so I'll show you step by step how I'd go in and enter these trades. So the first one is AMD. And I sold the 52 strike for a credit of 56 cents. And it required roughly $800 of margin per contract. And you can see I prefaced it in the beginning at the top where it says new trades. These are all puts expiring for 5/29. So all 5 of these are puts that I'm selling for next week expiration, 5/29. So if we do the AMD trade, when you go back to the desktop application, you have several tabs up top: monitor, trade, analyze, scan, so forth and so on. You want to click the trade tab and you want to type in the symbol that you're wanting to place the trade. In this case, it's AMD. Hit enter. And now that's going to bring up a stock quote for AMD as well as all the option chains for AMD. We're doing the May 29th, so I want to click the arrow next to May 29th. And this will bring up the calls on the left side, the puts on the right side, and the strike prices down the center. If you can't see all the strike prices, it could be that when you initially open it, sometimes it defaults the strikes to say 4. So it only would show you 4 strike prices. All you have to do is go where it says 4 and change it to show all. That way you can see all the strike prices you want to choose from. So the next thing to do would be find the strike price we want. In this case, it was the 52 strike. Anytime you're selling an option, you want to click the bid. In this case, if you look at the top, there's 2 columns, bid and ask. We want to click the bid if we're selling an option. We want to click the ask if we're buying an option. In this case, we're selling a put, so I'd want to click the 0.26, and it's going to bring up an order window near the bottom. And you can see it shows that I'm selling. -1 means I'm selling 1 contract. You can adjust the contract size. Sorry, actually, I believe this was defaulted to 10. Yeah, so I may change this to 1. So -1. AMD is the stock. It's got our expiration of May 29th, 52 strike put, and this is the credit we're receiving, 26 cents. Now, if we go back to my initial email, you can see I received a credit of 56 cents, and this is because I put the trade on earlier in the day on Friday, and it rallied toward the end of the day, so the option price actually came down. So this may not necessarily be a good trade to put on now, being as that AMD has gone up since I put this trade on, but this is just to show you an example. So after you get the alert, again, the price may be different. So I got 56. This may show 57, 58. It could be more or less. That's when you have to decide if you still want to take the same trade or not, if the prices have, say, gone down like it has in this case. But anyway, you can set your price if you don't want 26, because you can look, the bid and ask that we looked at earlier showed 0.26 and 0.28. So maybe I can try to get 0.27. That's kind of the in between the bid and ask, the mid price. You can see here at the bottom, it even shows the mid price is 0.27. Then I can click confirm and send. It's going to give me another pop-up window. It's just going to show me, my max profit, max loss, and the buying power. So this buying power effect is what I'm putting in the email as the required margin per contract. So this would require you to have $786 of buying power to be able to sell 1 contract of AMD. Then you hit send, and the market's closed right now, but right now it would be going to your working orders. So if you want to see your working orders, you go to monitor, the monitor tab, and you can see there's a drop down here that shows working orders, 1 order. And this is the order that's currently working. Working means that it hasn't been filled yet. again, the market's closed, so this would not fill. But let's say that the market's open and it still doesn't fill. I can right click on the order, hit cancel replace. Now I can go adjust my price. Maybe instead of 27 cents, I'll try 26 cents. Confirm and send. Hit send again. And if I go back to my monitor tab, now it's still going to show under working orders because it hasn't filled yet. Once it fills, it will go to the filled order tab. And then when you're ready to close, I don't have any existing positions in this paper account to show you how to close. I'll log into my live account to show that in a second. The one other thing I want to show you, because occasionally I do spreads. So I had a spread trade that I put on a few days ago. Let me bring up the email. So here is an email I sent out on Friday, 5/15, and you can see I had a new trade for Apple where I sold the 317.50, 320 call credit spread for 44 cents. So I'll show you how to go in and enter this call credit spread. So if we go back to the application, under trade, type in Apple. And if you see kind of up toward the top, it says spread single. I want to trade that to say vertical because a call credit spread is a vertical spread. And then I want to scroll down to find the strike prices that I'm looking for. So you can see right now in the center it has the 317.50, 320 spread. This is the one I'm wanting to trade. I'm doing a call, so I'd want to click the bid because again I'm selling the spread. It's a credit spread. Since I'm selling the spread, I'm going to click the bid on the call side. And you can see now it's bringing up two legs. It's bringing up the 317.50 leg and the 320 leg. I can adjust this down to one contract. And it's going to give me a credit of $1.34. So just like before, we'll hit confirm and send, and it will show you the max profit, max loss, the buying power effect, and then you can submit the order. And again, that'll go to the working order tab until the order actually fills. Now sometimes when you're looking for the strike prices in the center, it may not have the two strike prices that you want. Thinkorswim just defaults it to the two strike prices that are closest together to each other. Because let's say, for example, I wanted to do the 315, 320. Well, there is no 315, 320 available. It gives me 315, 317.50, and it gives me 317.50 and 320. It doesn't really matter. Just click on any one of them. Again, click on the bid. And you can go and change the strike prices after the fact. If I want the 317.50 to be 315, I can go in and change it to 315. And now I have the spread I'm looking for. So now I'll show you how to close a position or roll a position. So I switched over to my live account so I can show you how you would close a position. So once your order is filled, it will go under the monitor tab, under your positions, it will show your current positions. And let's say I wanted to close my MU trade. If I click the arrow next to it, it's going to bring up my current option, which is the 44.50 put right here. It shows me that I have 10 contracts. If I right click on it, it gives me a few options to choose from. I can create a closing order, I can create a rolling order. So we talk about sometimes about rolling trades. If I wanted to roll this trade, I would go to create rolling order, click on sell 10 calendar, because a roll basically is a calendar. And so this will bring up my roll. It's buying back my current trade, and it will be selling the next week's expiration if I wanted to do the roll. If I wanted to close out the trade, if we go back and I right click, hit create closing order, now it's going to be buying back the original put that I sold, and I'd be paying 88 cents to buy that back. And so no differently, you'd hit confirm and send, and then that would close out this trade. So now let's take a look at the mobile app. So to get the app on your mobile, you want to go to your app store and search on Thinkorswim. I pulled up TD Ameritrade because I just want to show you that TD Ameritrade has several apps that you can use. There's the TD Ameritrade Mobile. There's another, there's Thinkorswim. So you just want to make sure that you're picking the Thinkorswim app. Otherwise, it may not look exactly like mine. So you want to download the Thinkorswim app, and you can log in to the app with the same user ID and password that you created for your paper account for the desktop app. So if we open this up, so this is my live account. It's a lot easier to switch between your live account and paper money account in the app, mobile app. So in the bottom right, if you click more, and then you see where it says Mark's account, switch account. Right now I have live trading highlighted. I can click paper money and log into my paper money account. Now you want to be careful and make sure you're not placing trades in your live account when you're intending to place them in your paper money account. The way to tell the difference between which account you're in is if you look up top where it says watch list and edit, they're in yellow. And at the bottom where it says watch list, it's in yellow. And if we click on the positions tab, notice it's in yellow as well. So all the paper money tabs are all going to be in yellow. If we switch back to my live account, you can see live account is green. So up top, watch list and edit says green, and then the watch list at the bottom, positions, orders, alerts, all of that is green as well. So that's how to tell the difference. Also, when you go to place a trade in the paper account, let me just place a quick little trade here. When you hit confirm up top, notice it also shows you that it's a paper trade up top. If you in a live account, it wouldn't show that. So that's another way for you to make sure that you're in your paper account, not your live account. So when you first go into the mobile app, you're going to have a few tabs at the bottom. You want to go to the watch list tab, and you can create a watch list of stocks you want to follow. If the stock is not in your watch list, in this case AMD is not in the watch list, I can just type in quick quote, type in AMD, and that brings it up for me to trade. So the top portion of the screen is basically all the stock information. We want to scroll down to where it says the options and click on it. It's already highlighted on mine. It gives us all the option chains just like in the desktop. So if I want to trade next week, I'll click the arrow next to May 29th. And we did the 52 strike, so I want to scroll down. And if you notice at the 52 strike, it already has a little S by the strike price. That's because there's already an order in for that because we did it in the desktop. So desktop and mobile are always in sync. So the mobile app is already recognizing that I placed an order in the desktop. So I'm going to cancel that order so I can go enter it again. And I'm going to cancel the Apple one as well. So now if we go back, that S has disappeared off the 52. So similar to the desktop app, anytime you sell something, you want to click the bid. The puts are on the right side, the calls are on the left. So next to the 52 strike, I want to click on the 26-cent bid, and that'll bring up my order window. Now, for some reason, if I accidentally clicked on the ask, you can tell that it's the ask because it's in green and it has buy highlighted. We don't want to buy, we want to sell. So I can change it to sell here if I made a mistake. I can just switch it over to sell, and that puts us back to where we want to be. So you don't have to actually cancel and go back and do it over again. You can fix it in the order screen that we were just previously in. So again, I want to click the bid. I want to double check to make sure it does say sell. I can adjust my contract size. Mine defaults to 10, but I can adjust it to say 1. I have my limit price at 26 cents. Up top, I want to hit confirm. and it's going to give us the same information as we saw before in the desktop. It's going to show me my max profit loss, buying power effect, and then I can hit paper trade up top, and that's going to move it to my orders tab under working orders. If I want to go in and edit this because maybe it's not filling at the price I put it in, you just click on it, and it gives you the option to cancel the order or cancel replace. We want to do cancel replace, and it brings back up the same order screen again, and we can adjust the price to be a little lower. And then when you hit confirm, it's going to replace your previous order with the new price. And then once it's filled, it will move it over to the fill tab, and then will show up on your positions tab. To do a spread like the Apple spread we looked at before, we want to go back to the watch list. In this case, Apple's already in my watch list, so I don't have to search for it. I can just click on Apple there. It's going to bring up the stock information. I want to scroll down to where it says options. And then you can see in the center there it says spread single. I want to change that to be vertical. And we're selling a call credit spread, so I want to scroll down to the strike prices that we were looking at before, the 317.50, 320. Since I'm selling a call, I want to make sure I'm on the left side of the screen where the calls are, and I'm going to click the bid because we're selling. So that's the $1.05. Now it brings up the order window with two legs because the spread is made up of a short leg and a long leg, so it lists both legs in the center there. We can see that I'm selling. If for some reason it showed buy, like I mentioned before, you can just toggle to sell. If the strike prices we selected were not the ones we actually wanted, because maybe we wanted to do a wider spread and those strike prices were not available in the previous screen, we can go in and adjust the strike prices. So like in the desktop where it says 317.50, if I just click on that line, it's going to bring up another window for me to move to a different strike price. So if I wanted to drop this down to 315, or if I want to even adjust it to a different week, I can do that as well. And when I'm done, hit done. And now it changes my spread to a 315, 320 credit spread. After I've reviewed my trade, I can hit confirm. I can see the max profit loss buying power effect information, and then submit the trade by clicking paper trade. And that will also appear under the working orders. Now to show you how to close a trade in the mobile app, I'm going to move over to my live account since I have some trades there already. So we'll do MU again. If I wanted to close this MU trade, I just click the little arrow next to Micron Technologies, and that's going to bring up my current put that I sold. You can either click the checkbox next to it, and it gives you two options, roll selected or close selected. Or most of the time, I just, instead of clicking the checkbox, I just click the actual option itself. So when I click on it, it's going to bring me to this screen. And then it gives me the choice to close position, or at the bottom there you can see create rolling order. Either way gets you the same results. If I hit close position, it's going to bring up the order screen for me to buy back the option. So I will close out the option by buying it back, and I will just hit confirm to send that. If I wanted to roll it, if we go back, create rolling order. Now it's going to roll the option into the next week at the same strike price. If I wanted to lower the strike price like we looked at earlier, you can go in and click on any one of those options there, and I can adjust the strike price to be lower. So this would be considered rolling down. So in some of my emails, you'll see that I try to roll down to a lower strike price. That's how you would adjust the strike price to do that. I don't have a spread example to show closing, but a spread would be the same, would work the same way. The only difference is with your spread, instead of having just the one leg there, you're going to have two legs. So you need to checkbox both of those legs. I didn't have to use the checkbox feature again before because it was just the one leg, but when it's two legs, you want to use the checkbox feature. Click both checkboxes and hit close selected, and it will take you to the screen then to close both legs at the same time. So hopefully that clears up on how to actually go in and execute the trade. I mean, even if you don't quite understand yet the mechanics of selling puts or how spreads work, at least this gives you a way that you can go in a paper count and actually put the trades in so you can get comfortable with how the trade is entered, and you can watch the trades and see how they work. And then over time, as I start posting more videos, you'll have a better understanding of all the mechanics and nuances of the various strategies that I do. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.